A month had swiftly passed since the clash with Barco, and now, gathered within the halls of Dimitri's house, its members convened for a pivotal meeting. The atmosphere was thick with the weight of recent victories as an old man, presumably an esteemed member of the council, addressed the assembly. House Barco, the once mighty adversary, now lay in ruins. The old man, with a voice that carried the wisdom of time, proclaimed that no force in the northeast could rival Dimitri. Even those who had once sided with Barco were now expressing a desire to ally themselves with the prevailing power of Dimitri. The tides had turned, and the old man recounted the developments to all those present. However, the news took a darker turn as the old man shifted the focus to a delicate matter. Baron Dimitry had previously ordered a rejection of negotiations with forces aligned with Barco, given their overt hostility. The old man sought guidance from Baron Dimitry on how to handle these former adversaries. In response, Baron Dimitry, a figure of authority and strength, expressed a sentiment that rejected the notion of generosity in this context. Joining forces with those who had inflicted unforgettable wounds upon Dimitri would not be an act of magnanimity, but rather one of arrogance. Baron Dimitry sternly instructed the old man to never negotiate with these entities, vowing to teach them the consequences of opposing Dimitri. With this matter settled, Baron Dimitry deftly transitioned the discussion to Jonathan, who brought forth a strategic perspective on the recent conflict. Jonathan highlighted the variables introduced by Barco, specifically the borrowing of external powers. He emphasized that had Dimitri and Barco clashed directly, the threat to Dimitri would have been immense. Variables such as Flair and Homeros were cited, and Jonathan proposed an expansion of Dimitri's military forces to counter such unforeseen threats. Additionally, he advocated for the acquisition of magic weapons to bolster Dimitri's defenses. Baron Dimitry, recognizing the importance of military strength in ensuring security, concurred with Jonathan's proposals. The safety of Dimitri lay in its ability to adapt and respond to evolving challenges. The discussion then shifted to the financial aspect of fortifying Dimitri's military capabilities. Despite the significant financial investment in installing artifacts throughout mining shafts, Baron Dimitry reassured the assembly that Dimitri was financially stable, thanks to the contributions of young Master Roman. The young master had proven instrumental in ensuring the economic prosperity of Dimitri. The installation of artifacts had not only secured the mining operations but had also led to a remarkable 30% increase in iron ore output within a short period. The old man, drawing from his knowledge and foresight, predicted a promising future for Dimitri. He asserted that, at the current growth rate, a 100% increase in output could be expected in the near future. Baron Dimitry, ever vigilant about the financial aspect, sought specific details about the losses incurred through the installation of artifacts. The person addressing Baron Dimitry conveyed that the financial situation was under control, thanks to increased earnings. Baron Dimitry silently acknowledged the accuracy of Roman's judgment. Roman, by laboring in the iron mine himself, gained first-hand insight into the challenges and ingeniously devised solutions. This practical experience caused a perceptible shift in people's opinions of him, marking a turning point in their perceptions. Jonathan, ever astute, broached the delicate topic of succession with Baron Dimitry. Baron Dimitry acknowledged that the wheels of succession had already been set in motion. Jonathan elaborated on the decision made 3 years ago when Baron Dimitry chose young Master Rodwell as the heir apparent. At that time, Roman's actions and temperament didn't seem suited to such a pivotal role. However, circumstances had transformed dramatically since then. The war against Barcan, concerns over the safety of the iron mine, and Roman's prowess as a swordsman altered the equation. Jonathan asserted that Roman's current actions showcased the characteristics of a potential ruler. Others around the table concurred with Jonathan's assessment, signaling a collective acknowledgement of Roman's evolving stature. Intriguingly, the old man suggested an impartial competition between Roman and Rodwell for the position of successor, even though no official announcement had been made. This proposal injected a ripple of tension into the usually tranquil atmosphere of Dimitri's deliberations. Baron Dimitry found himself contemplating the merits of such a competition, weighing Roman's rapid rise against Rodwell's long-standing responsibilities as a potential successor. Baron Dimitry, cognizant of the weightiness of the decision, chose to observe the situation for the time being. The scene transitioned to Baron Dimitri's office after the meeting, where he delved into deeper reflections. He recognized that the matter of succession wasn't a solitary decision but required the agreement of key individuals who held significant sway in Dimitri's power structure. The vassals, whose loyalty and support were crucial, played a pivotal role in the decision-making process. Their allegiance could sway the trajectory of the succession contest. The Iron Mine Master, a figure overseeing a crucial economic aspect of Dimitry, was another key player. Baron Dimitry needed assurance that the economic backbone of the house remained intact. Lastly, there was Hendrik, the master blacksmith, whose expertise and influence in matters of weaponry and strategy were indispensable. Baron Dimitry understood that any decision regarding succession would be incomplete without Hendrik's approval and support. Baron Dimitry summoned Hans, seeking his opinion on whether young Master Roman was suited to be the successor of House Dimitry. As Hans entered the room, Baron Dimitry cut to the chase, prompting Hans to share his insights. Hans revealed that if he had been asked the same question 3 months ago, his answer would have been a resounding no. However, a perceptible change had taken place in the demeanor of the current young Master Roman. Hans, who had been closely observing Roman, attested that he had grown into a man now fitting for the role of successor. Intrigued, Baron Dimitry probed further, asking Hans to elaborate on this transformation. Hans painted a vivid picture of Roman's commitment to understanding the people of Dimitry. Rather than leading from a distance, Roman had humbled himself by toiling in the iron mine. He sought to grasp the intricacies of the miners' lives, facing the harsh reality of Dimitry head-on. According to Hans, the current young Master Roman displayed a genuine concern for the responsibilities that came with bearing the Dimitry name. Satisfied with Hans' perspective, Baron Dimitry dismissed him to consider the valuable insights he had gained. The next visitor summoned into the sanctum of Baron Dimitry's office was Jacob, the Iron Master. A pressing matter demanded Baron Dimitry's attention, the collapse incident in the iron mine. Jacob entered, accompanied by someone who had been present at the scene, Morkan. As Morkan nervously introduced himself, Baron Dimitry's keen mind stirred, recognizing the name from somewhere in the annals of Dimitry's affairs. Cutting to the chase, Baron Dimitry directed Morkan to recount the details of the fateful day when the iron mine shaft collapsed. Morkan, with a palpable sense of trepidation, began narrating the incident that unfolded just a week after young Master Roman had commenced his work in the mine. The collapse trapped a worker underground, and a tense debate ensued among the miners on how to proceed. Fearing further collapse and strictly adhering to safety protocols outlined in the manual, some were hesitant to take immediate action. In the midst of this uncertainty, young Master Roman emerged as a beacon of decisiveness. Unfazed by the potential risks, he declared that he possessed the strength to rescue the trapped worker. Against the backdrop of dissenting opinions, Roman defied caution and headed straight to the site of the incident. In a daring display of courage and competence, he successfully extricated the trapped worker from the perilous situation. Morkan confessed that, initially, he hadn't held a favorable impression of young Master Roman. However, witnessing Roman's bravery and leadership during the crisis had reshaped his perception. In the quiet contemplation that followed, Morkan found himself reflecting on the perceived foolishness of his initial doubts. The incident, where young Master Roman took charge and declared his responsibility to address the problems of the people as the eldest son of House Dimitry, had left an indelible impression on Morkan. It wasn't just a matter of Roman's will, it was an embodiment of a commitment larger than himself. If Baron Dimitry were to inquire about Morkan's assessment of young Master Roman, Morkan would unreservedly declare Roman a successor worthy of trust and wholehearted allegiance. Baron Dimitry absorbed Morkan's perspective, finding it resonating with the unanimous endorsement of Roman from others. Yet, the weighty decision of selecting a successor still eluded Baron Dimitry. The critical judgment, forged in the heart of the smithy, lingered as an unresolved question. The scene transitioned to the lively smithy shops, where a worker sought guidance from Hendrik. Numerous items, requested for repair in the name of young Master Roman, presented a dilemma. The worker, uncertain of how to proceed, turned to Hendrik for direction. Contemplating the query, Hendrik, with a sense of personal reluctance, advised the worker to accept the equipment. Behind this decision lay a hint of remorse, stirred by Jacob's accounts of the iron mine incident and a newfound appreciation for young Master Roman. As the equipment arrived, the workers were astonished by the extent of wear and tear on the items. A worker marveled at the dedication of the soldiers who had trained diligently, resulting in the worn-out state of their gear. In this sea of battered equipment, Hendrik's attention was drawn to a specific sword, and its appearance left him astounded. This particular sword boasted a remarkably smooth blade edge, a testament to precision and balance. The grip, meticulously wrapped, showcased an artistic craftsmanship that transcended the ordinary. Hendrik, a seasoned blacksmith of the renowned land of Dimitry, couldn't help but acknowledge the exceptional quality of this sword. It stood as a masterpiece, a rarity even in a realm known for its skilled blacksmiths. Hendrik's curiosity deepened as he wondered about the origins of this extraordinary piece. The sword's mana sensitivity, an aspect that caught him by surprise, hinted at its potential impact, especially among aura swordsmen. Hendrik contemplated the far-reaching implications of a sword possessing such extraordinary qualities without the infusion of mana. Despite his pride in being recognized as the best blacksmith on the continent for forging ironworks, Hendrik found himself humbled and in awe of the craftsmanship displayed in young Master Roman's sword. Enhancing mana sensitivity was a whole different challenge, thought Hendrik. He decided he needed to personally talk to Roman about the sword. The scene shifted to the moment when all the repaired equipment was handed over to Chris. To Chris's surprise, the repairs were completed much quicker than expected, something that usually took 2 weeks. The worker explained that Master Hendrik was unusually motivated, rallying all the blacksmiths to focus on the job. With a serious expression, Hendrik approached Chris, eager to inquire about Roman. The scene then transitioned to Hendrik questioning Roman about the sword. Hendrik, with a stern look, pressed Roman to reveal everything about it. From Roman's perspective, everything seemed to be going according to plan. He disclosed to Hendrik that he hadn't acquired the sword anywhere else. Surprised, Hendrik asked about the sword's origin, and Roman confidently declared that he himself had crafted the sword. Hendrik's frustration flared as he absorbed Roman's bold claim, and he couldn't hold back his disbelief. He confronted Roman, questioning whether he truly expected Hendrik to believe that he had crafted the intricate sword, the salamander, entirely on his own. In response, Roman stood firm, asserting the truth of his words. The salamander, he declared, was a unique creation, unparalleled on the continent. Roman, determined to prove himself, confidently told Hendrik that he would show him the reality of his craftsmanship. He believed that only through his unconventional methods could Hendrik, the family's main blacksmith, truly understand and accept the authenticity of his work. The scene transitioned as both of them entered the bustling blacksmith shop. In a direct and candid manner, Roman shared the story behind the salamander and his forging endeavors. He recounted how, while preparing for the impending war against Barco, he felt the need for a sword he could entrust with his life. Driven by this necessity, Roman faced the searing flames of the furnace, tirelessly hammering the steel until the process became almost meditative. Surprisingly, the blacksmith shop transformed into a sanctuary for Roman during those intense moments. Looking at Hendrik, Roman believed that the seasoned blacksmith could understand the profound emotions tied to the act of forging. Roman acknowledged that, soon, he would have to assume the duty of defense, and that realization fueled his dedication to creating a new sword, one to replace the venerable salamander. With a determined expression, Roman began to prepare for the forging process, removing his shirt as he got ready to craft the new blade. Hendrik, witnessing this, assumed Roman was disregarding safety precautions and attempting to forge without the necessary protective gear. He concluded that Roman lacked the fundamental knowledge of blacksmithing, a sentiment that colored his expectations. However, to Hendrik's astonishment, as Roman commenced hammering the blade, a shocking revelation unfolded. The iron handling standard, as Hendrik had come to know it, shifted before his eyes. It became apparent that the handling of iron varied between this world and the world of Murim. In this world, people grappled with the complexities of mana control, investing time and effort into perfecting the capabilities of their swords. Conversely, those from Murim prioritized the smooth flow of chi, leading to the creation of swords that enhanced chi intensity. Roman, having experienced the dual worlds and their distinct approaches, showcased a mastery that transcended the conventional standards of blacksmithing. Hendrik, watching Roman forge the blade with an extraordinary finesse, realized that Roman's skills were unconventional but undeniably effective. Hendrik stood in awe, grappling with the incredulity of the scene before him. Roman, once doubted and questioned, now exhibited a masterful prowess in the craft of blacksmithing. The way Roman handled steel, the speed of his striking, and the symphony of hammer meeting steel all seemed to harmonize perfectly. It was a display that brought Hendrik's mind to the prime days of Baron Romero Dimitry, a time when the family's legacy was forged with unyielding strength. In the hushed moments following this revelation, Hendrik couldn't deny the authenticity of Roman's craftsmanship. Blood, he thought, couldn't be deceived. The echoes of the blacksmith's hammer, reminiscent of Baron Romero's heyday, resonated in Hendrik's ears. It was a moment of realization that transcended skepticism, and after a pause, Hendrik, with genuine humility, conceded to Roman. He acknowledged that Roman was indeed the skilled artisan behind the remarkable sword, the salamander. Sincere in his newfound understanding, Hendrik offered Roman an apology for ever doubting his capabilities. In response, a smile graced Roman's face as he graciously accepted Hendrik's admission. To further demonstrate his sincerity, Roman made an unexpected offer. He would gift the salamander to Hendrik. The seasoned blacksmith was taken aback by this gesture of generosity. Roman explained that he was in the process of forging a new sword and, recalling the swords Hendrik had crafted for him in the past, he wished for Hendrik to accept the salamander as a token of gratitude. It was a moment that spoke volumes about the evolution of their relationship, from doubt to respect, and from skepticism to acknowledgement. The narrative then delved into a memory from 3 years prior, a time when Hendrik vehemently opposed the notion of Roman succeeding Baron Dimitry. In a heated exchange, Hendrik expressed his concerns to the Baron, asserting that Roman's reputation among the people was far from favorable. Describing Roman as a fool, Hendrik proposed an alternative successor, Rodwell, Baron Dimitri's second son, who had dedicated himself to the art of blacksmithing and showcased his skills in the capital. Returning to the present, the passage of 3 years had wrought changes in Roman, evident not only in his blacksmithing prowess but also in the eyes of those who once doubted him. Baron Dimitry, while acknowledging Roman's transformation, harbored a lingering concern. He feared that Hendrik might not wholeheartedly endorse Roman as the rightful successor, despite the evident growth and capabilities displayed by the young blacksmith. However, much to Baron Dimitri's astonishment and relief, Hendrik not only acknowledged Roman's qualifications but also expressed a belief that Roman surpassed any other candidate for the heir to House Dimitry. The revelation left the Baron in a state of shock, prompting him to seek confirmation from Hendrik. The seasoned blacksmith, his conviction unwavering, assured Baron Dimitry that he would never lie about such matters. In Hendrik's view, Roman had been putting in relentless effort, working tirelessly behind the scenes, investing sweat and tears into his craft when no one was there to witness it. Initially, Hendrik harbored a belief that, due to his reservations about Roman, he had intentionally provided subpar weapons when Baron Dimitry instructed him to supply Roman with some. However, Roman's stark remark, comparing the inferior products to murder, compelled Hendrik to reconsider his actions. Upon deeper contemplation, Hendrik began to recognize the inherent value in Roman's work. He acknowledged that Roman's insights and contributions were undeniably benefiting House Dimitry. Hendrik had not merely heard about Roman's dedication, he had personally observed Roman in the blacksmith shop, witnessing the young artisan immersed in his work, facing the relentless heat of the furnace with unwavering determination. This shared experience as fellow blacksmiths forged an unspoken connection between Hendrik and Roman. To demonstrate Roman's true capabilities, Hendrik presented Baron Dimitry with a sword crafted entirely by Roman's hands. Hendrik's confidence in the weapon's quality was palpable, as he believed that even a single glance at the sword would reveal its exceptional value to the discerning eyes of the Baron. Witnessing the craftsmanship, Baron Dimitry was genuinely surprised, pondering in amazement how Roman had managed to create such an extraordinary weapon. Hendrik, in his role as the master of blacksmiths, took the opportunity to suggest that perhaps it was time to reconsider the decision made 3 years ago. The acknowledgement of Roman's skills and the tangible evidence of his craftsmanship had the potential to reshape the perceptions and decisions regarding Roman's role within House Dimitry. As Hendrik exited the scene, the focus shifted to Baron Dimitry, who turned his attention to a letter retrieved from his drawer. The letter bore news from Baron Dimitri's second son, Rodwell. According to the letter, Rodwell had recently achieved an S rank at the Royal Academy in the capital city of Cairo. Rodwell expressed his intention to forego theoretical classes, opting instead to gain practical experience as a commanding officer in the field. He pledged to graduate with the highest honors, a promise that would make the House of Romero Dimitry proud. Contemplating the contents of the letter, Baron Dimitry gazed up at the sky, perhaps searching for clarity in the expanse above. He marveled at the talents possessed by both Rodwell and Roman. Despite Rodwell's reputation as a prodigious talent, Baron Dimitry acknowledged that Roman's current abilities surpassed even those of his highly accomplished son. The realization dawned that Roman's exceptional talent had the potential not only to shine within the kingdom of Cairo but to resonate throughout the entire continent. Baron Dimitry had a clear vision for the future. He believed that once Rodwell graduated from the academy, Roman would step into his role in military defense. Following this transition, Baron Dimitry intended to declare the Battle of Succession, a significant event that would shape the destiny of House Dimitry. The anticipation of these pivotal moments hung in the air. The scene then shifted to a few days later, where Willis, a priest in Valhalla, found himself in Dimitry. A high-ranking judge accompanied him as they entered the domain of the noble house. Baron Dimitry took the opportunity to meet with Willis, extending a warm welcome and introducing himself. Willis, having heard rumors about Roman Dimitry's extraordinary feat of defeating Homer, sought confirmation by meeting Roman in person. The unprecedented nature of this achievement raised questions about whether Roman's accomplishments should be reflected in the rankings. Baron Dimitry, regretfully, informed Willis that Roman had been dedicating his time to the blacksmith's forge for several days. Recognizing the significance of Willis's inquiry, Baron Dimitry suggested that Willis take the day to rest and arrange a meeting with Roman on the following day. He also encouraged Willis to explore Dimitry during his stay, inviting him to witness the unique aspects of their estate. Accepting the Baron's suggestion, Willis followed Hans, a guide appointed for this purpose. Hans took pride in explaining the grandeur of the Dimitry family, boasting of their possession of the largest iron mine in the Kingdom of Cairo and the production of the finest types of iron. He highlighted the role of iron in the construction of the castle's interiors, emphasizing its structural and aesthetic significance. As they strolled through the estate, the rhythmic sounds of soldiers practicing reached their ears. Intrigued, Willis inquired if he could observe the training for a brief period. Hans, accommodating and eager to showcase the military prowess of House Dimitry, agreed. They approached the training ground, where Kevin and Pucky, two soldiers, engaged in a practice match. The sight left Willis astonished. Both soldiers exhibited a remarkable ability. They could use aura, a manifestation of energy that added a unique dimension to their combat skills. Willis, a witness to this unexpected display of power, was taken aback by the revelation. The use of aura set these soldiers apart, elevating their training and combat capabilities to a level that surpassed conventional expectations. As Willis absorbed the scene, contemplating the significance of soldiers possessing aura abilities, he began to grasp the exceptional nature of House Dimitry. In the ranks of the 30 men recruited by Roman as his soldiers, not a single one possessed the coveted skills of an aura swordsman. The dynamics within this group took an unexpected turn when Roman, one day, casually mentioned to Pucky that he appeared to be born with a martial physique. At that moment, the cryptic nature of Roman's words left everyone puzzled. However, the mystery unfolded within a remarkably short span of less than a month when Pucky successfully manifested aura, a phenomenon that defied expectations. This pivotal event marked a turning point in the soldiers' approach to their training. Faced with the newfound challenge presented by aura manifestation, a collective determination emerged among them to surpass this hurdle. The soldiers, now fueled by a heightened sense of purpose, embarked on a journey to not only strengthen their combat abilities but also to push their own limits, even at the risk of their own lives. The transformation was evident in a practice match between two of Roman's soldiers, Pucky and Kevin. Both fighters displayed a level of skill and finesse that resembled seasoned aura swordsmen. This unexpected display caught the attention of Willis, a priest in Valhalla, who found himself utterly shocked by the prowess exhibited on the training grounds. Willis, unable to comprehend the depth of this sudden transformation, wondered if all the soldiers shared a common swordsmanship style, marveling at their proficiency. To him, observing these soldiers from the remote region of Dimitry felt akin to witnessing a miniature version of the powerful Valhalla Empire. The stark contrast between the soldiers' capabilities and the perception of Dimitry as a countryside family puzzled Willis, prompting him to question when and how Dimitry had acquired such extraordinary strength. Accompanied by another judge who shared in his astonishment, Willis speculated that these might be members of the famed Dimitry Knights, a force associated with Baron Romero. However, Hans, providing a surprising clarification, revealed that these soldiers were not part of the Dimitry Knights. Instead, they were identified as young Master Roman's personal soldiers, a distinction that further intensified Willis's sense of shock. Willis, struggling to reconcile the image of aura swordsmen as mere soldiers, sought clarification on whether they were recruited through substantial financial incentives or perhaps as apprentice knights. Hans, equally taken aback by Willis's inquiries, unveiled the extraordinary backgrounds of Kevin and Pucky. Kevin, once a commoner, and Pucky, a C-rank mercenary, had only recently become aura swordsmen under the guidance and teachings of young Master Roman. The revelation highlighted Roman's exceptional eye for talent and his ability to cultivate strength in those under his charge. Hans, in his explanation, emphasized the significance of Roman as the successor of the Dimitry family. He portrayed Roman not just as a martial figure, but as a beacon of inspiration, capable of recognizing and nurturing talent to an exceptional degree. To Hans, Roman was not merely a successor but a blessing to the Dimitry legacy. Willis, still grappling with the unfolding revelations, questioned the true identity and capabilities of Roman Dimitry.